Hello, everyone. I'm Steve Sawyer, the founder of the Developmental Trauma Training Institute. I'm a licensed clinical social worker and certified substance abuse counselor for the last 20 years of my career. In work in the modern therapeutic world for many years, I've seen developmental trauma be a root issue in people's experiences and their struggles. And the Digging Roots Foundation course, our new course, an online course process that is supported by cohorts, is an effort to surface the issues that come from the roots of the problem versus the symptoms. Growing up in childhood trauma or treating childhood trauma requires a special level of focus. The Digging Roots Foundations course sets the stage with looking at some of the modern research that shows us where the core issues exist in people's lives that have survived different forms of developmental trauma, which can range widely from growing up in poverty, uh, very threatening environment, or violent environment, survivors of childhood sexual abuse, or conflict inside of the household on a regular basis. All of these experiences set the foundation in our nervous system to how we respond to stress, how we become reactive versus responding in the environment around us. And as Stephen Porges says, replaces our patterns of connection with patterns of protection. This course takes a deep dive and has two cohort supportive processes that are built into it. One is for survivors of developmental trauma that want to explore their journey of their lifetime early on and work to surface issues. This is best experienced with the support of a professional, a therapist, or a supportive helper in the journey. And then there's professional cohorts are focused directly towards people that are working directly with developmental trauma in a professional setting on an ongoing basis. The course is filled with powerful exercises to look deeply at how the manifestations of developmental trauma are experienced in that individual's life. The process begins with a very thorough assessment and then progresses through looking at the research and the 6 forms of dysregulation that research has showed is how developmental trauma surfaces. And it progresses through 7 other exercises that work to discover internally the ways that we protect ourselves coming out of childhood trauma. Patterns of protection that have replaced patterns of connection to people around us, relationships, self-sabotage, like our relationships to what we want to do in our career and work, and works through a discovery journey with that. The supportive cohorts are really designed to help people ask questions, integrate the information that they discover, and be an overall supportive process that walks through the journey alongside an individual. Please join us in looking at this Digging Roots Foundations course. Developmental trauma is a root issue that's often never fully healed in trauma treatment today. A lot of trauma treatment has been focused on single memories and built upon platforms of post-traumatic stress disorder, which has a very different manifestation than developmental trauma. And in this course, we deeply dive into surfacing the roots. The metaphor of digging roots comes from the idea that the nourishment of the roots is what feeds the plant. And when we grow up in a tumultuous environment, the roots of that plant are often in toxic soil. And this feeds its way up and through the entire plant and then leads to how the plant blossoms. And for some of us, developmental trauma can set the stage for struggle for an entire lifetime of struggled relationships, self-sabotaging in jobs, being able to impact our relationships with our children, and then being generationally passed on. This course aims to set the course for being able to end some of those childhood chains of generational trauma that get passed along in the household. Thanks for considering this course. We would love to have you. We would want to support you in your journey with this and lead to a deeper, more profound healing experience in any form of work that you're doing therapeutically or in self-discovery. Take care.